Bubbles next.
So just recapping for anybody just joining us, we've completed our qualifying session.
Just had a glitch, you've got to fix it up, and yes. So this is the grid order you're going to see here, well, besides Kidbyers and myself, Jason. The grid order is what you see there, so just finish up inviting people. If PlayStation wants to work, here we go.
I'll tell you what, we're starting to get requests now, and I don't know what we are at the moment.
Requests for a duet, are we? No?
Well, we're getting requests in. We're actually, I guess, commentators, but we also don't mind singing a couple of tunes every now and then. We're getting requests now. I don't know whether we'll. Robbie there, just. Oh, look out! Here we go. Robbie, a bit of Def Leppard there. Just we might just get to those requests a little bit later for our man Rob Dog. He knows what he's doing. He likes the right kind of music, that's for sure. As 11 of the 18 drivers have joined the new session, like we said before, Jace. Hopefully it's third time lucky.
Yes, just finishing up, inviting all those last boys at the moment. Who's not in? Womp. Who are we missing? Womp. There's only 12 drivers, if I remember correctly. I just invited those last two there.
Yep, just let's just invite who we can. Thank you, Rob. Great to not only take music requests, we take all sorts of requests, as I just get requested to join yourself, your good self, Jace, in the commentary box. For anyone who doesn't know, yours truly and Jason Wilkinson calling all of tonight's action. Looks like we've got 14 now with Womp and Latex. Ja, wohl mein Kommandant, Latex has joined, our little German friend.
Let me just resend out the, we'll have to send the stuff to the, hang on. I'm just going to send the link to our SRL buddies.
Yep, the link to the new stream, of course, for tonight's round. Well, you can see there we've slightly changed the description for everybody watching at home. It is now the Project Cars 2 SRL Season 1 PS4 GT3 Belgium Grand Prix race. And tomorrow, when everything's all said and done, I'll be jumping in and editing the first stream for tonight, Jace, as qualifying.
Yes,
before
we'll get started for the race in a sec, actually. Just double check all the settings are all good. Yes, 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 yes. Real time, yes, cool. Yeah. Alright, we're all ready. Let's go.
We are ready to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As we crisscross the globe, like we said, for the inaugural SRL Project Cars 2 GT3 League. Big hello to everybody joining us. Great to have you back, Alex. Great to have everybody back on the stream. We apologise about the technical issues which are out of our control, Jace, but
yes,
we can't do too much about that. But enough about that. 10 turns, 4 kilometres around the beautiful Zolder circuit here in Belgium. And this championship is hotting up, isn't it? Formula One rocks. 13 points behind V8 Man 51. Can't do there in third. No longer with us tonight. Oh, he's still with us. I shouldn't say that. He's still very much alive. I tell you what, don't tell him.
He's actually celebrating. He was, in real life, he does karting, and he got into the top 200 karters in Australia. So, very well done to him. Till we get a hashtag KartDudeNation in the chat for him.
I tell you
I'm
what,
sure he's watching.
Mia's nearly dropped her popcorn there when I said we'd almost lost Kart Dude. Anyway, let's get the Kart Dude hashtag trending. He's inside the top 200 karters in the country. I'm about 7 billionth, I think, in the karting ranks. But anyway, enough about that. Let's take a look at this grid. Jason, take us through it.
Yes, we've got Formula One rocks first. Rob Dog second, Nige Guns, V8 Man, Sub GT, Fubbles, Righty, HSV, Andy Holden, Hecker, Womp, and Latex. Sorry, I apologise. The spelling's a bit funny there.
Yep, I don't think the PSN network was too kind to him. Anyway, enough about that. We are in for a fantastic race. 20 laps around Zolder here in Belgium. And it's time to reward our loyal viewers, our loyal fans out there on the stream who have been good enough to join us. Thank you yet again, because this is going to be one hell of a race. There are the cars lining up on the grid. What is going through that man's mind after what happened to him last week, of course? He will be out for revenge this week, and hopefully his third win of the season. He's got Rob Dog there for company on that invisible P2 there, Jace, on the grid. I think we've lost... Yeah,
it's that glitch from last week as well. Here we go. Anyway, race start. Here we go. Let's get it on.
Here we go. The drivers getting ready for the start of this race. The red lights are on. 3 lots of red lights.
Go.
Green. We are out and go. Formula One Rocks getting a good start there. Nige Gun slotting into second. Rob Dog down to third. Not a good start for him as they come through turn 1. Look at that, first, second, third, fourth, all together. Is there any contact at the back?
Clean.
They're all nice and clean.
Yep, all good.
A little bit better than last week at Fuji now. HSV down in 8th place. Can he make up some early positions at the start? But it's Formula One Rocks out in front, looking for redemption this week after his disconnection last week. There he is, the gap already half a second from Nige Guns. He finished P2
dropped down to 4th.
Last week. Not a good start for Rob Dog. He started second on the grid. Now he's down to 5th, Jason. Unbelievable there. Bad luck for Rob Dog on the start. Through turn 7 there. Look at that.
BMW's getting close.
Very close indeed. BMW's battling it out there. Rob Dog down to 6. Does he have a problem, Jason, heading through lap 1?
No, I think he's just, when you get balked by one driver, you have to get on the brakes, and he's just sort of, everyone's all ready to go up the inside as soon as they can, and he's just sort of being pushed back. You can see he's put the lights on, so no problems besides the just crazy start, I guess.
So Rob Dog there, he's down, he started second, he's down to 6th, and now he's got, I tell you what, he had Andy for company there. We saw a Ferrari going off at the back as Latex, just a fresh... off a pretty good qualifying session as we're going through. Andy there.
We'll go back to the leaders.
Back to the leaders.
Lap 1 done.
Across lap 1 into lap 2. So the first lap completed, and it's Formula One Rocks leading from Nige Guns in second. V8 Man, his championship rival, in third, before Sub GT in fourth. Righty up to 5th. Gee, that was a good start from him. Rob Dog now up into, he's still in 6th position.
Who's the one that spun?
Somebody's Bubbles?
No, maybe, I don't know. I know, it's Andy at the back. Oh, what a shame.
So it's a shame there. Andy in the Ferrari spinning around, and Fubbles there in P9. And he's got Hecker Kosh for company. So Formula One Rocks out in front.
Sorry for the battle going on.
And I tell you what,
these BMWs work together to catch all these 4 Audis in front here.
I tell you what, they've got their work cut out, because the leaders, the top 3 or 4, are scampering away pretty quickly here on lap 2 out of 20 here at the Belgium Grand Prix at Zolder.
Inside. That's a bit argy-bargy.
A little bit of argy-bargy there between the 2 BMWs, but Rob Dog there, he's had a very eventful opening couple of laps of this race, but it's time, isn't it, Jason? Talk us through what it's like when you get a bad start, you get bogged down, you get balked by your other opponents. What's going through Rob Dog's mind at the moment? Does he just need to settle down and concentrate?
Yeah, he just has to get his eyes forward. Don't worry about anyone in the mirror. You've got HSV behind him. There's a little bit of a gap there. Just look forward. There are going to be no pit stops tonight, so he's just got to try and work and put pressure on the cars in front. He's quick enough to get back up there as he spins, so he's going to do a little bit more work as long as he doesn't pull in front of Womp, which he doesn't. So maybe he's just a little bit flustered at the moment, so it's a shame, but can Hecker get in? Yes, even Hecker's got him, so he's down to 9th. So what a shame there by Rob Dog starting P2.
Well, the tale of woe continues for Rob Dog. But anyway, back to our leader now, and that gap just under a second. So Nige Guns here on lap 3 out of 20. Nige Guns keeping him honest, keeping Formula One Rocks honest there in the lead, followed by V8 Man, who's dropped a couple of seconds now back there in 3rd place. And Sub GT Racer there, as we see Formula One Rocks, those cars.
We've got another spinner down there. I don't think that's Rob, is it?
And
HSV is at a spin. Hang on, we'll get the camera on him properly. Yeah, he had a spin, so he's dropped down, so he's not going to be happy about that.
And HSV.
He's one to get hot under the collar, so hopefully he can keep it clean. And Rob is round again.
And there's a BMW around there on the worst possible place there. I believe that is turn 7. And as a driver, there's no scarier scenario, is there, Jason, coming into a corner as tricky as that one and finding one of your opponents facing the wrong way around?
It's a blind approach until like the last 50 metres before the corner, so you can't really spot them unless the marshals are awake and giving you yellow flags until it's too late and you sort of can't, you're already committed to the corner. And yeah, so bit of a scrappy start to the race by Rob Dog, but I'm sure he's in P11, so we'll watch at the end of the race, see where he is at the finish.
So you have to say, like we keep, we've said it a few times so far during tonight's race that Rob Dog started on the second from P2 and now down to P11. So I'm sure we'll find out. I'm sure it'll all come out in the wash in the post-race analysis. So whether he has a problem or not. Meanwhile, Hector Koch now focusing in on him. And, well, we're about to see he's up to P6, Jason. A good start from him in the Nissan.
Very right on there. He'll be happy with that. We'll just go through the orders. We get this beautiful shot from behind the cars. And speaking of behind the cars, unfortunately, HSV again, it's an easy thing to, with one car going off, it's just making them all spin. So, Hubble's down in P12. He's not going to be happy with that. He's been practicing quite, he's been pretty quick in practice, so...
Yeah, you won't be happy with that.
HSV around again. He's not going to. He's going to be. I'm going to cop a message in a minute saying, "What is this car doing?" Because I've been helping most of the boys with the setups and stuff. So, yes.
So obvious problems for our man Dean McKinnon in the early stages of this race, and he'll hate me saying this, but he spent more time in the sand than I did at my last attempt at golfing down at the local Vanilla Golf Club. That is absolutely harsh. But anyway, he spent this gap, I tell you what, 2.2 seconds, Jace. And let me tell you...
I feel like V8 Man's dropped behind Sub GT. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and stream and watch. But I have a feeling V8 Man was in P3. So...
Now down to P4.
Sure. Yes, he is. You can see it in the bottom right there. Oh, no, you can't. I can see that. Have HSV leave the game, so he's had enough, pulled into the pits, and he's going to start practicing for Bathurst next week.
Well, he's got plenty of time. The only thing I can say to console Dean out there is I'll be seeing you next week at the Grand Prix, I'm sure, but just dose up on some chocolate, get plenty of rest and practice for the big one at Bathurst, 22 laps around there, like we said, Jace, on the 5th of April. As we try and solve the mystery of this man, V8 Man, I think it was, who slipped down to 4th position. We didn't see it on our timing screens.
He must have made a little mistake.
I reckon he must have made a mistake there. And I tell you what, I didn't complete maths in year 12, but if my arithmetic serves me correctly, if they finish the way they are at the moment, Formula One rocks, that's right, who lost a huge 25 points last week after disconnecting at Fuji in Japan, would retake the championship lead. In fact, I think it would be dead even, Jason. That's right, with one round to go, they would be absolutely even on points. That's right. That's the sound of my co-commentator Jason Wilkinson salivating at the prospect of a championship decider. I'm glad you said lips, because that would be one hell of a race. I reckon the Simba wouldn't be sleeping for that one, Jason.
Shh, don't wake him. You wake him, we're in trouble. So at the moment he's still asleep, so it's all good. Well, so you can see Formula One rocks, 2.5 seconds now the gap. Nigel pretty good at keeping with someone, so it just shows the true pace that this man can pull out when he needs to. And as you said weeks ago, that he's just one man that once he gets in the rhythm, he is impossible to beat.
Like a great musician, once he gets in that rhythm, there's no stopping him. Looks like we've got a full course yellow. I shouldn't say a full course yellow. Looks to be something happening there. Is that a yellow flag? Yellow flag
that'll be through here from when HSV's retired. So maybe he just pulled off, thrown the wheel out through the window and said, I'm off to the bar.
Yep. Off to just have a couple of quiet frothies at the bar. Speaking of frothies, that's what we'll be doing. Of course, drink responsibly down there at the Grand Prix next weekend. But enough about that. It's all about the race tonight. So we'll recap the order, Jace, on lap 6 out of 20 here. As let's just have a quick look at it. So Formula One Rocks leading by 2.5 seconds over Nige Guns.
We've got a battle for third here. Sorry, a 3-car battle.
Oh,
let's have a look at this.
Look at this.
Looking pacey.
Look at this. Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Up the inside.
5th and 6th all together. I reckon he's going to get the job done. Is he going through turn 1? The BMW on the inside of the Audi. Side-by-side action here.
Good defensive drive in there by V8 Man.
V8 Man getting very defensive, almost like his World Drivers' Championship depends on it. And he's got to be thinking about the championship now, V8 Man, like we said, with only this race and one more to go. And speaking of this race, where is it going at the moment, Jason? Lap 7 out of 20. It has been going very quickly. Sprint Cars 6, which is Thule, I believe, saying, well, you guys are at the GP next weekend, I'll be racing at Archerfield. Congratulations to him. I'll be racing back to the bar to get another frothy. But anyway, enough about that. Good luck to you, Thule. He is currently watching V8 Man. This is a very, very tasty battle for everyone at home. Drop what you're doing and get in front of your TV screen for this live stream. Because this is very tense as the sun sets here at Zolder. 20 laps around this famous circuit. A circuit always getting close. That BMW now, Jason, is getting very close, isn't he?
Yeah, you can see V8 Man taking some defensive lines, sticking the car in the middle of the track, just warning Righty to not go for that move up the inside because there will be contact. So they're both pretty clean drivers, so hopefully they can keep their contact to a very, very minimal. Makes my job easier as a steward. So you can see Sub GT's actually, how we were talking before, he's had a bit of a shock in the last couple of weeks. It's good to see him up in P3 at the moment, pulling the gap. So the gap at the front's down to 2.2 seconds now. So Nige Gun sort of maybe pushing as hard as he can to stay with F1 Rocks, but I'm sure once he gets on that 2-second gap, F1 Rocks will just say, see you later mate, and put his foot down and go to another 3-4 second gap there.
Well, I tell you what, our viewers on the stream tonight say, wondering why V8 Man is struggling. We see this quite a bit from V8 Man though, don't we, Jason? Early on in the race, he likes to just hang back, just keep to himself. Before then, he's like a great sprinter, an Olympic sprinter who just sort of comes out, or a swimmer. They come out in the last sort of couple of 500 metres, don't they, or the last couple of laps and get the job done.
Yes.
So for all you...
maybe it's his tyre conservation. He's pretty good at that, or conserving his tyres. Maybe he's just a very, very consistent driver, which I know he is, so he can just keep putting lap after lap after lap, and the other guys will start slowing down with a bit of fatigue setting in, you know, both mental fatigue of just hitting the brake markers lap after lap. It's only a 20-lap race, it's only about half hour to 40 minutes, but, you know, being on the edge the whole time, it can take it out of you. So you can see there's a battle down here for P... No, there's not. It's not really a battle. Rob Dog back up to P8.
So Rob Dog's recovery drive going well as...
Oh, hello, look at this gap. It's back down to just on 2 seconds, and Nige Gun's... when you look at that last lap, he did a 34.4 compared to Formula One Rocks' 34.9, so good chunk of a second there quicker, so maybe we could have a battle here.
He's not out of it yet, and I'll tell you what, even better this week, Nige Guns doesn't have a 20-second. Rocks, can he keep his cool? Like we said, he got disconnected last week, and could have... His championship chances could have taken a dent as we ride on board with Righty now in the BMW.
Whoa.
Can he go down the inside of the Audi? Oh no.
Oh, can you get any closer?
You can't get any closer than that, that's for sure, through the Termelenbach. Geez, I tell you what, I've butchered that one for all the Belgians out there as we come through the back part of this circuit.
The roller coaster section there.
Yep, the roller coaster.
Undulating. Whoa, V8 Man had a massive slide through there.
Oh, V8 Man had a
saving it.
hell of a tank slapper. Coming up to turn 8. We mentioned, Jason, in the pre-race qualifying session and on the stream that is a very important corner. If you don't get it right, it can ruin your chances on this back straight, can't it?
Yeah, it's all about momentum. You should keep the momentum high when you're in a race, especially when you battle like this. So if you lose just 5-10 kilometers an hour, you're just going to get swamped by the car behind. This BMW is very quick in a straight line too, so V8 man in his Audi, which is a little bit slower in a straight line. As you can see, he's missed the apex there. You can see that. See what I mean by momentum? You can see how much Righty just closes up, and you can have a look. But again, V8 man covers. So it's good by Righty not to have just a massive dive on the inside. You've got to work away, keep putting pressure on, hope that V8 man will crack. So yeah.
Well, we said that earlier on in the race tonight, as half the race has gone, half still to go, and here he comes. Righty now getting a good run out of that corner now on V8 man 51, and he is through. Oh my goodness me. Well, we said a bit earlier on in the lap that he was sizing him up, but V8 man, he blocked him a couple of times, saying, you can look Righty, but please, whatever you do, my friend, do not touch.
Do not touch.
And then Righty getting plenty of traction out of that corner, and he is up into 4th place. And what a fantastic race for Righty. His best finish before this was P7 at Sugo a couple of weeks back, 3 weeks ago in fact. So he is up to P4. And now V8 man, if the race finished...
Look at that gap out to 3.5, nearly 4 seconds now between first and second. So we look at the times of this lap. We can see the time of last lap. F1 Rocks from a 34.7 to Nige Gun's 35.5. So he must have made a little mistake. And that's all it takes. He F1 Rocks 34.3 to a 35.7. So you can see that's all it takes. There's one little mistake and it's all over Red Rover.
It's a matter of millimetres, a matter of inches in this game. Motorsport is a cruel beast at the best of times, Jason, where success and failure can be separated by fractions, even thousandths of a second. And that gap now stretching to almost 4 seconds now as lap 11 out of 20 here at the Grand Prix of Belgium here at Zolder. A track, Jason, that's seen so many triumphs and tragedies over the years. We lost the great Gilles Villeneuve here in the 1982 Belgian Grand Prix. But just keeping it positive. Rob Dog there on his comeback drive up to P6. Yeah. He's got Andy for company.
Not going to catch P5 because there's a 20-second gap there because they've all just, they've all just split up. Yeah, they got those battle for third, and then there's a battle for these guys here. And I think we got Latex. I'll give him a little bit of airtime of him getting lapped as we let's see if he can get out of the way proper this time as Formula 1 Rocks is coming up to lap him. You see the flashes pop on.
And well, I reckon if Latex was going to be a good boy and let him through, probably would have been a good idea before this tricky little final part of the lap. I tell you what, if he needs to get out of the way there, Latex, the lights are flashing there from Formula 1 Rocks. We know about getting airtime for the sponsors, the Pirelli and all the rest of it, but...
this isn't the airtime. There we go. He's letting him go up the inside. Right on.
He's finally let him go through.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. You let him go.
You've got to give him the benefit of the doubt for that one, I guess, for everybody watching at home as well, Jason. Like we said, the poor man can't just evaporate, can he, out of the way?
Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness me. Well, I remember, I tell you what, I might be showing my age a bit here. Oh, here we go. Oh, no. Oh, Hecker.
Don't contract.
Goodness gracious me. Hecker, not Hecker. Latex there screams from my co-commentator, Jason. We just didn't want him coming back on the track, did he? And now Righty's off the track. Big moment there for Righty in the BMW car. Or was it somebody else? I think it was Righty, wasn't it? Yeah, going off the track there.
Yeah, it was Righty, yep.
So
he just lost that gap. He was right on top of Sub GT there. So maybe V8 man has his eyes are lit up and he thought, I might be able to get P4 back now.
Well, I tell you what, everybody on our stream loving every second of this Project Cars 2 race here tonight at Belgium. Alex saying, Jesus, Latex, what are you doing, man? Mia saying, I've got to go and get ready for school. Oh, look out, that's trouble. We better stop talking to her in there if that's the case. Anyway, Formula 1 Rocks then. He managed to get out of the way from Latex, who managed to let him through this time last lap, but it was Nige Guns, and that gap, gee, hasn't that cost him? It's nearly 5 seconds now as we cross the line here. Lap 13 out of 20. in the Belgium Grand Prix. And if they finished as they are now in the Drivers' Championship, Formula One Rocks would regain the throne. P1 in the Drivers' Championship. And wouldn't that be, like we said, Jace, a little tasty battle heading into Bathurst next week?
Oh yes, 2 weeks from now. I'm really contemplating making a comeback for Bathurst, as I feel I'm pretty good there, and it's just a track you've got to get on and drive. If it's a league race, social race, driving a car around there, it doesn't really matter. You can any car you can get around Bathurst is absolutely amazing. So
well, Jace,
I'll probably be in the commentary box if we don't have a backup commentator, but yes.
Well, Jason, let me tell you one thing. Whatever they're going to pay you at Ferrari, I will match it. Let me tell you that. Simba and I are going to catch up after this race and have a little bit of a chat about that. He said, Daddy, you're staying with Kidbyers in the commentary box. And I tell you what a vantage point we've got here. This league has given us so many surprises, so much drama over the last 7 weeks. Like we said, all the W's.supremeracingleague.com.au. Head over to the SRL Project Cars 2 GT3 forum to sign up if you haven't already. As we look at Righty there coming through the last part of the lap. Just approaching through the Yock and Rint corner. Now coming up to the Jackie X corner. And the last corner of the lap. Always a tricky one, this one. You've got to get it right, as Jason, who's had plenty of experience around here, has told you throughout the course of the evening. So Righty currently in a championship best position of 4th for him previously.
We had a couple of PBs last week, so good to see a couple this week.
No doubt about that in the rain-soaked Fuji Grand Prix. The comments still coming through on the stream. Tooley saying Bathurst will be good. I'll tell you what, you need
to make a comeback. You need to make a comeback for Bathurst.
You need to be the comeback kid.
You need that. Tooley is the fastest controller guy in this league, so missing him this week. He'll be up there with those P3, 4, 5 guys.
Let's get that hashtag trending on our live stream.
Yeah,
we've tried
Tooley comeback.
Tooley comeback. Hashtag pad hacks. Hashtag Can't Do Nation. They're all going off on Twitter. While we're watching Hecka Kosh, now V8 man.
That's a beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot there, Womp. Oh my goodness gracious me, he's going to be a busy boy. Beautiful pictures from these races. Like we said, these GT3 cars looking very beautiful under the sunset skies here in Belgium. So Formula One Rocks, lap 14 out of 20, leads from Nige Guns.
Sorry, I've just seen Alex's comment on that thing. Mate, I think you need to check your spelling there, Alex. You've spelt a certain word wrong.
30, Mia's got to head to bed. Hey guys, I'm only 15. Wow. I still got to go to sleep at 9:30. Damn dad she says. Yep, you can take her, Nemo. Your damaged goods lady. Yeah, he likes them nice and young, but geez, 9:30. I've got to go to bed.
Young himself.
Yeah, that's for sure. Mia's saying she's got to go to bed at 9:30. Just wait till you're in your 30s. You'll be going to bed at about 8:30. Anyway, enough about that.
Like me, 8 o'clock.
yeah, exactly. Trying to find an excuse to go to bed before the sun goes down in summertime. As we ride on board with Nige Guns. And tell us a bit about what he's got to do, Jason, in the remaining 5 laps of this race. Can he cut that gap down? It's just a tick under 5 seconds. What can he do in the latter part of this race?
Well, to put it blunt, nothing. P2 is always as high as he's going to finish. Formula One Rocks is that consistent. He's not going to make any mistakes. I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, which I probably just did. But yeah, I'm actually lucky enough to have Formula One Rocks coming over and staying at mine for next weekend at the Grand Prix. So it'll be the first time I'm meeting him. So I might have to chuck him in on my rig and on my simulator, I should say. Actually, I could be taking out of context there. On my sim and see how he tackles the lap and tackles the driving. I might be able to take some pointers and make a comeback for Bathurst. No, so I'll stay in the commentary box. 35 he just put it up there. Formula One Rocks compared to 34.1. So maybe the track's getting a little bit quicker now, a lot more rubber down, temps out. Might see some bit of a happy hour for the drivers' lap times here.
So getting into the, like we said, the sun setting here at Zolder, and now Righty there. Oh, I tell you what, Sub GT. Oh, here we go.
Whoa,
Can we get some on board? Beautiful timing, impeccable there, Jason. On board now with Righty.
Got him.
Through.
Oh, hang on.
Turn 2 there.
Yep, got him.
He's got him, so
P3.
P3 for Righty in the BMW. What a move to get up into P3. And Sub GT Racer, what can he do coming back here? He won't be a happy boy in the Audi. They're side by side now. What can they do coming in to turn number 10, I believe?
No!
Sub GT's around and he's going to get in the way of V8 man.
No, he's done well. He's done well there. He's flicked the car back around the other way. So,
and that could have huge implications, Jason Wilkinson, for the World Drivers' Championship. The first ever SRL's championship as V8 man back up to 4th. Righty in 3rd, 10 seconds behind. Nige Guns in 2nd, and it's still Formula One Rocks out in front by 4.3 seconds. But what drama we've had in this race tonight.
I'm just watching that gap. Nige Gun's actually done a fastest sector 2 and fastest sector 1 on this lap, so it could be a PB for him. And see, Formula One Rocks did a 34.9, so he's 1.8 seconds slower that lap. So he's 9 tenths quicker than Nige Gun, so maybe it's not over yet. But I don't know. Formula One Rocks is, well, he's one of my favourite drivers, so as long as we don't have favourites, I know that, but you know.
Oh, get out of here, Jace.
A few words.
Yeah, like Homer Simpson's famous speech when he joined the Navy. I'm a man of, I think it was him, I'm a man of few words. Any questions? Okay, lap 17 out of 20. Great to have your company with us. I don't know about you, but this is... I don't know what you're talking about, Jason. You know, you're one of my favourite drivers and commentators, of course. We like to keep it fair and unbiased, but it's Formula One Rocks now, 4.5 seconds. That gap's gone up by a couple of tenths. Maybe he was just easing off. We thought we'd put the commentator's curse on him a little bit earlier on. We might still do that, you never know, but I'm sure Formula One Rocks.
I think we might not right on board with him just in case, but he's so good to watch.
Well, he makes
the car just look like it's on a slot track. He just flows the car beautifully through corners, out of the corners, no wheel spin. He's absolutely awesome to watch.
I tell you what a comeback this week after disconnecting last week. And he's won 2 races so far this season. He's finished on the podium 4 times. And he is looking to even things up in the championship. He came here with a point to prove. You said, Jason, as we see Nige Guns across the line, that gap 4.3. He came here tonight to Belgium.
Again.
2 tenths. He's getting closer, but I reckon he's going to run out of time. He's going to run out of laps. Righty looking for his best result of the season in P3. But I can tell you, he's such a smooth driver, our man Formula One Rocks. Sub GT Racer there down to 5th after his moment a couple of laps ago. All of the greats, Fangio, Senna, Schumacher, you name it, Formula One Rocks. Can he add his name to some pretty illustrious company and become the first ever, the inaugural GT3 Project Cars 2 SRL champion? As we take a look at the drivers lower down the field, there's Andy in P7. He's 20 seconds behind Rob.
He was down in last for a second, if you remember that. So he was in lap 2 or 3, he spun out and was down to last. So he's back up to 7th, Rob Dog's back up to 6th. So it shows that it's not all over. If you can just keep putting your head down, you can come back up through the field.
So head down and just keep at it there and get on the comeback trail. So Andy and Fubbles, both the only 2 drivers from what we can see in the field with penalties. Then it's Hecker Kosh in P9, 5 seconds behind Fubbles in 8th. Womp down there, getting an awful...
trying to get a photo for himself, I reckon. A bit of his own screen time, getting it sideways.
We've been talking about airtime for the sponsors, but he got an awful lot of sideways rearward action there. A great photo then for later in the race, and he's had to cut that chicane there. It's a tricky corner for Womp. Well, he's... I think, was he getting lapped there? I don't know. But anyway, here's Latex.
No, it was a Ferrari coming up behind him.
Here we go. So Latex in P11, of course. If you're not familiar with the points system we like to use here in the Project Cars 2 GT3 League, we run an F1 style point system. As we see Latex in P11. So he would miss out, unfortunately, on scoring points tonight. Points from 1st to 10th. 25 points for the winner, 1 point for 10th place, like we said, using the F1 style point system. And Jason, just looking at the timing screens, that gap now 3.4, 3.3 seconds, 3.1 between Formula One Rocks and Nige Guns. It is not over yet. Lap 19 out of 20 in this race.
I was just about to tell a little fact about that Bentley, but let's see what goes on here. I was just going to say the Bentley is the only right-hand drive car. As you can see, if we ride on board, oops, sorry, wrong button. If we ride on board, all these cars, so the Audi, the Beamer, the Ferrari, the Porsche, all left-hand drive besides this Bentley, which is a right-hand drive, which is, this is actually a battle for 10th place here, so Womp must have made a mistake, as we saw. So, I think it's a bit of a jolty screen, won't jump out of this, but yeah, so the Bentley is a right-hand drive car, so it doesn't really make any difference, it's just a little interesting fact we got there.
So 10th and 11th on your screen. Beautiful car, that Bentley, right-hand drive, so we could use that out here. Well, we said earlier on it'll look good in our driveway, Jace, as that battle for 10th position. As Nige Guns is around. Nige Guns is around now. The important thing is
he's just coming up next corner.
Oh, where's Righty? He can't, he's back on track. I tell you what, we've mentioned it. Coming from a driver's point of view, you said it, didn't you, Jace, that you've got to concentrate all the way through to the end. But it's Formula One Rocks currently on the last lap of this race. Let's bring him home for everyone watching the live stream. Here we go, through the chicane then. He is going to get the job done.
We might throw out to our lovely viewers, who do we think is going to win the championship? Is it going to be Formula One Rocks or is it going to be V8 Man? They're going to be tied on points for going into Bathurst. So can we get a hashtag F1 Rocks or a hashtag V8 Man for who's going to be the champion next week?
So get your hashtags, tweets in. Here we go. Let's bring him home. Formula One Rocks. He disconnected last week. He came to Belgium with a point to prove through the last corner. Now onto the main straight. It is Formula One Rocks who wins the Belgium Grand Prix and retakes the championship lead. And I know I'm right because that means he'll have 3 wins, and the most, I think it goes on wins if it's even. Nige Guns crosses the line in second. Here comes Righty. Look at that. Here. The battle for the final podium position. Righty finishes in third ahead of V8 Man. In P5, Rob Dog having a moment on the last lap. But what a result for Formula One Rocks, and what a battle for that final podium position between Righty and V8 Man. And it was Righty in the end who won out.
Oh no, never mind, I was about to say Wampa's just been overtaken by Latex, but if you look at the top there, you can see Latex has just gone off, so it could be another battle here.
Latex and Wamp. Here we go. The battle for 10th, the final points-paying position. Oh, here we go into the chicane. Latex is on the inside, Wamp's on the outside, the bollards going everywhere, the Porsche and the Bentley. The battle for 10th, and it's still not over. Let's bring this home, this exciting battle for the final points-paying position. These two, points have been few and far between for these two. Wamp coming off P4 last week. Not as good a race for him this week. Well, Wamp.
The official photographer gets P10 unless he makes a mistake here himself.
So Wamp will have plenty of happy snaps to take home with him after this race, and a point as well as he comes across the line. As we wind down here for the Belgium Grand Prix, what a race! Out of fuel. Fubbles, P9, he had a penalty as well.
He's going to cross the line.
Come on, I think I can. Get out and push, Fubbles. Come on, man, you can do it. Come on, let's ride him home as we count down here at Belgium. And he's back to the garage there. So let's take a look at the final results from a hectic Belgium Grand Prix. There was no pit stops, there was no rain this week, but what a race we ended up having in the end. And it was Formula One Rocks back again for this week, taking victory over Nige Guns in P2. Righty, his first podium and best result of the season, ahead of a very disappointed V8 Man in fourth. Sub GT Racer in fifth. Rob Dog in P6 after a good recovery drive after he had a bad start from second on the grid. Andy in P7, Hekakosh getting valuable points for his team in P8, then Fubbles in P9, and Womp rounding out the points-paying positions in P10. What a race, Jason Wilkinson.
Wow, I am so happy that Formula 1 Rocks has made a big comeback, and I'm actually happy because it is going to be whoever finishes first out of the two teammates are going to be the GT3 champion for 2018.
So we are frantically going through, grab your calculators for everybody at home. So the current points standings, as I'm sure they'll be updated.
Yes, it is. We are correct. Yes, it's going to be on... Okay, I can quickly do a little update for you while we get Formula 1 Rocks in the party.
Well,
to
by
have
my
a chat with us in the commentary box.
By my calculation, for everybody out there watching at home, Jason, that we will be level, these two, Formula 1 Rocks and V8 Man 51, unless my arithmetic has failed me, which it's sometimes suspect, we will have even points. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody watching at home before the final round at Bathurst, even points for Formula 1 Rocks and V8 Man 51. And Formula 1 Rocks will lead the championship, Jason, if I'm not mistaken, given the virtue of tonight's victory, which means three victories to
both
2.
On 120 points they both are on.
That's right.
Next
One
is going to be Sub GT, who would have taken home 10 points for P5, so he would be on 75. So you can see there's a big gap between first, second, and then the rest of the field.
Well, it's only the first two we're worried about, and I'm sure that's what will be the case for everybody at home. I'm sure we'll be able to chat about this over a beer at next week's at Albert Park next week, Jace. But 120 points apiece. 22 laps of the most famous track on the Formula 1 calendar as the championship leader and tonight's winner is good enough to join us. Hopefully he's set his voice to be shared. Formula 1 Rocks, can you hear us, mate? What a race.
Yeah, mate, I can.
Fantastic stuff.
What a race. Hang on, we'll see.
We
Yep, you're all good, mate.
Yep.
Continue.
All good.
Talk us through that race. Don't say it was boring again at the front there. You're about to, aren't you? Okay, that's right.
That's a good race.
Well, I'll put
that's pretty good.
I'll put a question to you, Formula 1 Rocks, just quickly. Sorry to interject, but tonight's victory, you disconnected. You didn't start last week's race at Japan. You had a week off, which you weren't expecting, but win number 3 for the season. How are you feeling within yourself? The championship is even, 120 points apiece heading in to the race in a couple of weeks' time at Bathurst.
Oh, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. It's going to be a good one.
Well, he leaves... He's a humble man, isn't he, our man Jace, Formula 1 Rocks? He leaves his talking to be done on the track. So Formula 1 Rocks, congratulations again tonight. You'll be able to have a nice Easter break. Probably won't get too much sleep leading into the next race, but thanks very much for joining us. And congratulations again tonight. Jace, have we got anyone else coming into the party out of the top 3?
Nige Gun. Yes, I will get V8 Man after Righty joins. Nige Guns doesn't have a mic, as we all know, so next best is Righty, and then we might have a talk to V8 Man, as I want to see what he's got to say about the race.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see.
He's looking forward to that first. So we'll get Righty in first. Hopefully he has a mic, I'm not sure.
So just a big hello to everybody still watching the stream there. 8 viewers currently. They've
a question from Mia.
Should I join the league next season? You certainly should, Mia. Great job, boys. More the merrier. Yep, we'll take take anybody's money, no doubt about that. And on that subject, don't forget, thank you, Formula 1 Rocks. Don't forget to head to allthews.supremeracingleague.com.au if you want to join Mia and about 20 other people next week, as Righty's been good enough to join us on the party here. Righty, talk us through that race. A fantastic performance, your first podium and your best finish of the season. How did it all go down?
Mate, you have to be up there, so good job by you.
Well, righty, you missed the first 4 races of the season. Your best finish before tonight was P7 and then P10 last week. You picked up 15 points tonight. Leading before that, I should say, your points tally was 7, so you've more than doubled that, quadrupled that, in fact. Is it a good confidence booster to get a result like this tonight and, like you said, finish on the podium for the first time? Great job, Righty. Tooley letting us know on the stream that he can't hear Righty.
Sorry, I'm not looking at that.
Remembering, allow your voice to be shared,
yeah,
Righty.
just go in the party and then party settings.
Never mind. I'll tell you
just
what.
go into the party and then party settings.
So just to I shouldn't say translate, but for everybody out there watching the stream while we wait for Righty to get his voice sharing settings up to date.
And then just go down the bottom to be shared. Just hit that always allow.
We can do a translation for everybody out there still watching at home. Righty said, I really enjoyed the race. I had a fantastic performance. I did a Stephen Bradbury style race to come through the pack and finish 3rd. It was my best result of the season, and I'm very much looking forward to Bathurst in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you, Righty, and the translation working beautifully there. I'll tell you what, everyone out there listening in this, I'll tell you what, they're going to think I'm mad, but anyway. Yep, so fantastic performance. Nige Guns doesn't have a mic, so you're no good to us. We've heard from Formula One Rocks, our race winner. And before we close off the stream, I think we might...
We'll just quickly talk to V8 Man.
If he's there on the line.
Does the winner of this championship get a contract in Formula Renault?
You never. I think GT's well and truly nestled in there for another couple of years. But V8 Man, thanks for joining us. One of those funny sort of results
tonight.
V8
Man's on yet. He's not in yet. We'll just don't jump the gun, mate. We'll just talk about the Grand Prix next week. So we're going to have Formula 1 Rocks, myself, V8 Man, Kidbyers, and a couple of other boys all meeting up. We should get a SRL GT3. Righty's going to be there too. SRL GT3 trophy, and the winner, photo, and the winner's going to get his mugshot chucked up right in the middle of the stream, I reckon.
That's right. We'll be taking a picture.
How you going?
V8 Man, thanks very much for joining us. Interesting result this week. Like we said, a bit bittersweet. You finished P4. You finished off the podium. You came into this race 13 points in front in the championship, and now you're leaving dead even. What are your thoughts heading into the championship decider next week?
Well, it's going to be a tough, it's, pretty exciting, I guess, for the viewers. The race was pretty tough. There's lots of understeer, and Chuck was really slow. And hopefully next week it's a good battle, or no, next race, sorry, I should say. It's a good battle between Jono and I, or Formula 1 Rocks, I should say. Hopefully it's a Vietman 1, followed by Formula 1 Rocks number 2.
So, just another quick question is I'll tell you what, this is a bit like the Joe Weller KSI fight. Look at that. We should do something similar leading up to the. We might film something at the Grand Prix track if these two blokes are together. Look out if they're anywhere near each other. But Formula One Rocks, I beg your pardon, V8 Man. Just a quick question before we let you go. This is your 6th podium of the season. You've got 2 wins on the board, a 2nd place and 2 thirds. You've been the most consistent driver so far this season. Do you need to change anything? Is it a different mindset heading into a championship deciding race in a couple of weeks' time?
Up the tempo a bit, but race to, I guess, what you're comfortable with, and hopefully just have a clean race.
But we are looking forward to the championship decider, 120 points apiece for Bathurst next week. We look forward to seeing you then, mate.
Sweet as.
I'll just say a quick congrats, because you two in Shake and Bake Racing have just wrapped up the Teams Championship too.
Ooh.
Slingshot, engage.
Shake and Bake.
No one.
And Bake.
No one's going to beat the boys, that's for sure, in the Constructors' Championship. Nigel on the stream saying, thanks everybody, we'll be hungover for Bathurst. I don't know about that. We might have a frothy or two just to be sociable, but yeah, we're going to take a group photo. And then what we might do is, for one of our viewers out there in the stream, one of our beloved regulars, we might all sign the photo and maybe frame it and give it away as a gift for the end of the season.
We just had breaking news. Thule is coming back for Bathurst. So let's see. Let's see if I'll see if that man. Let's see if he's going to be true to his word.
Hashtag Thule comeback. It must have done all right. That's the official announcement. Big news here post-race at Belgium. Looking ahead to next week, or in a couple of weeks' time, I should say, we'll get Easter out of the way, round 1 of the Formula 1 2 at Albert Park. Before the 5th of April, I believe, Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, we have an absolute humdinger. That's right, not next Thursday, not the Thursday after, but the Thursday after that. It is the championship decider, 5th of April, 22 laps at the famous Mount Panorama circuit at Bathurst, to decide the first ever, the inaugural SRL Project Cars 2 GT3 Asia Pacific League champion of the world. It's between V8 Man 51 and Formula 1 Rocks. Thank you, everybody, for your company tonight. Jason, thank you again, my good friend Jason Wilkinson, for joining us. I'm sure we'll catch up for a frothy next week, no doubt about that.
Oh, mate, remember, HSV, if you're still out there, you owe us a couple of beers for last week, so I'm sure they'll go down nicely.
Well, I reckon everybody I've spoken to is going to shout me a beer, so by rights, I shouldn't have to buy any beer whatsoever, but we are close to being wrapped up here. Nearly done and dusted for another week. It was Formula 1 Rocks winning tonight's race from Nige Guns in second. Righty, his first podium of the year in third, followed by V8 Man in fourth. The rest of the results you can see playing back on the stream. Mia there getting the comments in. Thank you for everybody for joining us yet again for another week. We're going to have a break for a couple of weeks, have a few beers at the Grand Prix. And we will see you next...
I'm sorry, I read that wrong.
We are going to see you next week. You see, boys, soon going to give Cart Dude a handy. I'll tell you what, it's after 9:30. We can get smutty with it. We are out to the tune of our favourite theme song. That's it. There we go. We're done for another week. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
All four. Yep.